Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So into the previous video, we had seen regarding the horizontal bar chart, right? This was just 1 second. So yeah, this was the plot which we had made into the previous video, right? Now, today in this particular video, we are gonna understand regarding the box plots. Okay, now this box plot is actually one another plot. Now, what is the information which it actually gives us? So, box plot actually mainly tells us about five things. Whenever we make out a box plot, so into that there are total five things which we can understand from that particular box plot. First one is basically the smallest value. Second one is the first quartile. Then we have the median, or we call it as second quartile. Then we have the third quartile, and at last we have the largest value. So these are the five things which we can understand from the box plot. And even box plot lets us know about that basically do we have outliers present onto our data or not. Outliers are basically the unwanted data. Let's say whatever the data points you are having into your data that are ranging from 1 till 100. Okay, now there are few data points which are greater than 500. Your normal range for the data point is 1 till 100, but there are some few data points which are ranging above 500. So that are actually which we call as unwanted data, because whatever is the range of my data, I would be wanting that particular data points only, right? This is the idea. So that particular is called as the outliers. This is what we call as the unwanted data into a particular data set. Right, hope you just understand out this idea, and how we see out the largest, how we see out the smallest, median, first quartile, third quartile, that I'll be discussing whenever we had made out the box plot, right? So first of all, let's try to make out the box plot. After that, we'll be discussing rest of the things. So what was the variable in the previous which I had taken? That was data underscore tip. So I'm just using that particular variable only. Right, so here I'll be using, okay, I've write here fig is equal to px dot, and here we're writing box. Okay, box is basically the function which we actually use out for making the box. But above that, let me just put on the heading also, because I haven't put that thing till now. So here we go with the box plot and hit enter. Fine, so this is how. So fig is equal to px dot box. Inside the bracket, first of all, I would be writing that basically what is the variable in which I have stored my data. So that is data underscore tip, right? Putting out a comma. What you want to give onto the x and what you want to give onto the y. Let's say on x I want to give here as a smoker. Okay, and let's say on y I want to give here as okay, TIP. Fine. What about my color? So let's say color I want to give out here as let's say I'll be taking here time, because we're having two times, dinner or basically the lunch, right? So I just put on that thing. After that we have one more feature also, but I'm just not gonna add that right now. As soon as we had made out this plot, after that I'll be adding that out. Okay. So after that I'll be simply writing fig.show and try to run this out here. Fine. Now just look on my box plot which is actually appearing. This is how a box plot actually looks like. Okay, so on to the x-axis you are having no and yes. So that no and yes are basically the smoker values, right? Let me just okay, let me just close this up right here, and fine. And onto the y, what you are having? Onto the y you are having the tip column which we had actually taken out. This is how the box plots look like. I have taken a smoker and I have taken the color as time. So time is dinner and lunch. So blue one is basically for the dinner and red one is basically for the lunch. Now when you hover, you get a lot of details regarding this, right? That we'll be seeing in a little while what are all of these things. But before that, have a look that these are which we call as outliers. Okay, these are which we call as outliers. These dots which you are able to see, these are the unwanted data into your data set which actually you are having, and this is what is called as outlier, right? Let me go on to the one note here. Okay, so here it is written for the box plot, right? Let me just quickly take out a color as well from here, a highlighter. And okay, this one, let's take it out. Fine. Let me come down. So these are the 5 things which are actually visible, smallest, first, and then we have the median, that is the second quartile, we have the third quartile, and we have the largest value. Right, these are the things which we are actually having out here. After this, what are these and how we just display them out? Let me come down. Okay, what are the quartiles? Quartiles are numbers that separates the data into quarters. Okay, that basically helps to separate the data into quarters. That is called the quartile. Now, the data, okay, the data which we have taken, it is the particular data. This one is the data, okay? This is particular, which is written here, this particular, all the things. This is the data which I had taken. Finding out the median, you all know the between values are taken and divided by 2. So that I have done. That is the 7. For finding the quartiles, so first of all, we take at the lower half of the data, and at the second place, we take the upper half of the data. So from the lower half of the data, whatever the value is in the between, that is your first quartile. And from the lower half data, whatever is your between value, let's say here the lower half data is 1, 1, 2, 2, double 1, double 2, 4, 6, and this is 6.8. So in between, which is the between value which is coming, that is 2, right? Because here it is 6.8. 2 is the middle value. So from that middle value, this 2 is basically your first quartile. Now when you take out the upper half of the data, first you have taken the lower half, right? That now taking the upper half. So in that case as well, whatever will be the middle value, that will be your third quartile. So here we have the third quartile as 9, right? Now here, understand, this is how a box plot looks like, right? Now the smallest value is your 1. So whenever your box plot starts, the first point where your box plot is starting, that is your smallest value. So here into this particular plot, your smallest value is 1. The middle, from where this rectangular box starts, so the first line for this rectangular box is your first quartile. Okay, then in between you are able to see one straight line that can be at any place, that is your median, your second quartile. After that, the closing line of the rectangular box, that is your third quartile, and the last line which is present and the last point of that particular line is the largest value. Okay, let me go on here. Here the line which you are able to see here, now just have a look. That minimum, it is telling you 1. After that, it is telling you Q1, that is your quartile, is 2. Then it is telling you median is 3, right? Then Q3, that is quartile 3, that is 3.71. Then it is telling you that the upper value is actually 6, right? So this is how a bar plot gives you the information. Now you can have a look at the line, the middle line which is in between, the for the smoke and no, for the dinner and lunch, the middle line is actually different from each other, right? At the blue color it is upper side, and into the red color it is downside. Why it is so? Because the median differs for each and every data points which you are having, right? You will never find all of these things same and equal to each other because of the median of the data, right? So this is how you can convey out all of the knowledge regarding this particular box plot. Fine. First down line is your minimum, then you have the quartile 1, then you have the median, then you have the quartile 3, and then you have the maximum value. Okay, now what I would just do here is that I'll be taking some different columns actually. Okay, let's say onto the X I'll be taking here as day, and let's say onto the Y, let's say I'll be taking here as total underscore bill, and I'll be plot this out. Fine, so that I'll be just getting out here. This is for the day and the total underscore bill. Color is time, okay. For the time, let me change it from time to smoker. Fine, so here I'll be getting the information regarding all the 4 days, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday and Friday. Now just hover out, you'll be getting each and everything, right? Now that you can understand it on your own. After that, I have one feature here that is notched, N-O-T-C-H-E-D. Now this is one type of like subplot which comes under the bar plot. This notched is one parameter, one feature which is in here. Right now you are able to see the box plots into the rectangular shape, right? The boxes which are present here, these are in rectangular shape. As soon as I write notched is equal to true, so that box plot, now this box which you are able to see, that will be coming into the shape of a notch. Let me write here notched is equal to true, and now when I just run it out, now the shape of these boxes will actually change out. Now just have a look, see the shape has been changed, right? So this is basically how this notched as well made out. So notched is equal to true. Fine. So you can just change out the shape of these box plots as well according to your choice, whatever you just want to wish out. Right, so hope you just got a very clear idea regarding that how we make out the box plots and how are the box plots actually made out, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.